Hello, second grader. What time is it? It's math time. All right, that was a little cheesy, but you get the point. Today we are going to be dun, 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 telling time. So before we get started, let's go ahead and stamp the objective. By the end of the lesson, I will be able to tell time to the nearest 5 minutes by skip counting by fives. So before we get started, let's explore the types of clocks. So we have a digital clock. A digital clock shows us the time using numbers. So let me go ahead and show you an example of a digital clock. Now, I use this digital clock every single day. And what I'm talking about is my phone. Now, if I look at my phone, it says it's 1:44. That is the time in digital form because it's showing me the time using numbers. However, there's another type of clock. The other type of clock is called an analog clock. And an analog clock is a lot harder to read. These clocks have hands that show us the hours and the minutes. And because they're harder to read, friends, that's what we'll be focusing on today. So let's talk about reading an analog clock by starting with the hands on a clock. Now, when I say hands, I'm not talking about these hands. I'm talking about this short hand and this long hand. Now, this short hand reads the hours on a clock. This long hand reads the minutes on a clock. So one more time. The big hand on a clock shows us minutes. The small hand on a clock shows us hours. Now, to make sense of that, we need to realize that a clock is very much similar to fractions. And here's why. If I were to split up a clock in equal parts, how many equal parts would I have? Well, let's count together. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I have 12 equal parts. Now, how many hours are on a clock? Well, if you said 12 hours, you're correct. We have 12 hours. Isn't that interesting that we can split up a clock into 12 equal parts and that we also have 12 hours on a clock? Well, guys, they're the same. And what I want you to see is that each of these parts actually belong to an hour. So in other words, each hour has its own room. So the part that is in between 12 and 1 is 12's room. Let me give you another example. The part that is in between 5 and 6 is 5's room. One more example. The part that is in between 9 and 10 is 9's room. So if the time is 12:15, the hour hand which is our shorthand, will be anywhere in room 12. So it's going to be inside of room 12, which starts at 12 and ends at 1. Now this is really important, friends, so listen up. The closer the minute hand gets to 12, the closer the hour hand gets to the next room. So in other words, this minute hand, the long hand right here, as it continues to move all the way around, the closer it gets to 12, guess what? The hour hand moves closer and closer to the next hour. Interesting, so fascinating. I love telling time. Now, on a clock, there are also tick marks. Now, tick marks show us the minutes on a clock. Okay, so each number represents the hours. We kind of talked about that already. So for example, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those numbers that I just read out, they represent the hours. Now the tick mark represents the minutes. So when I say tick marks, I'm talking about these things right here that are kind of like small dashes. And I'm slowly going around and pointing at them. But yeah, those little tick marks, those little lines that are around the analog clock, they represent the minutes. And if I were to count all of these tick marks, guess how many tick marks we would have? If you said 60, you are correct. We would have 60 tick marks because there are 60 minutes. And what's really important for you to know and remember is that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So let's go ahead and fill in the missing numbers on the face of the clock to show the minutes. So for example, if I start at 12, we could say that that is 0. And we're also going to find out the other way we can label 12. But say we start at 0. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 minutes. And then the 2 represents the hour, but it also represents 10 minutes. The 3 also is an hour, but know that it also represents 15 minutes. So when we count the minutes or show the minutes, we are actually skip counting by 5s. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and the other way of labeling 12 would be 60. So one more time, friends. Those numbers 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, those numbers there are what we use when we talk about the hour. However, when we label the minutes, we use these numbers 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Those would be our minutes. All right, friends. So I am going to leave you here and I'm going to have you guys learn more about the parts of a clock by watching Brain Pop. So please watch that video and then I'm going to post another video on how to complete the activities for today. Now, this is the first day we are learning about telling time. So you're not going to get it immediately, and that's okay. We're going to continue working on this. So please make sure you are watching all the videos so that you can get as much information as you can get. Now, if you have any questions, reach out to your math or science teacher. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.